And, you know, for example, my husband, before taxes on paper, makes about 40 grand. After he pays his income tax, before he even gets to see his check, almost half of that is gone. How are we supposed to save money for our future? How are we supposed to contribute to the economy if we can't afford things? You know?
Oh, so you think that we're being taxed too much?
I do. Well, not necessarily that I think we're being taxed too much, but that I think that it's not fair that we're taxed and corporations aren't, and the richest 1% aren't. They have loopholes to get out of it, and I don't think that that's fair. If everyday human beings who work hard for their money have to pay astronomical taxes, then so should the bakers who make billions of dollars a year. It's not fair that they have loopholes and we don't.
So you think this is primarily the corporation's fault?
I do fully. I mean, we've partially allowed them to get out of hand because we've been tricked into...
What about labor unions?
What about them?
Don't you know that labor unions are the ones that suck up all that taxpayer money?
That's not really... I don't know. Labor unions fight for fair wages for their people.
Actually, see, the thing is they demand wage hikes, right? And since they're funded by the public, by public funding, that means that the more they get paid, that means more money comes out of your pockets to their paycheck.
No, I disagree with that.
I don't think that they're the problem. It's not their fault that things are the way they are now. They're just trying to survive in the system that they're in.
Well, I'll give you an example. So you would probably earn like 40, 50 grand in a year, right? The average public, the average public school teacher, to name just one example, he would earn upwards of 70,000. You think that's fair?
Sure. Teaching is a hard job.
Yeah, but remember, where's that money coming from? That income tax that you're paying, it goes to their paycheck.
No. My income tax goes to give corporations their big bonuses. Labor unions are not the problem. Labor unions fight to make sure that we don't just send all our jobs overseas because they're willing to do them dirt cheap there. Labor unions fight so that their workers aren't working in deplorable conditions, so their workers aren't working for pennies on the dollar. Labor unions fight for their workers' rights. But the problem is not the labor unions. The problem is that we're in a society that instead of our governments passing rules, bills, whatever, that are good for the general public, all these people here, instead of passing things that are good for all of us, they pass bills that are good for corporations. And that's the problem.
Can you give an example of a bill that's good for corporations?
Well, I don't know exact bills, but I know that, for example, we all have to pay taxes. We can't get out of it. If we try not to pay taxes, we'll all go to jail. I know that corporations have loopholes. They find ways to not have to pay their taxes.
You know, like the taxes that you pay, they go to the public sector, not the private sector. You know that, right?
I think that's a myth that we're told. What do you get for your taxes? You get construction in the streets that goes to one company that makes a profit. You get... That's better.
Is there magic mark?